I've spent a lot of time in my life sitting around wanting things to change and not being able to make them change and not thinking I could.
I know you're gonna have to do almost everything alone up here, but you know I'll be with you. But now, you're the one. Now you're gonna have to go through hell, worse than any nightmare that you ever dreamed. But in the end, I know you'll be the one standing.
My very last question on the questions to ponder is why not now?
The fact that something seems impossible shouldn't be a reason to not pursue it. That's exactly what makes it worth pursuing.
You have a name to maintain.
I don't care about my name.
It's not just your name, sir. It's your father's name. And it's all that's left of him. Don't destroy it.
Life rewards action, not intelligence.
You know what you gotta do. Do it. Do it.
Where would the courage and greatness be if success was certain and there was no risk? The only true failure is shrinking away from life's challenges.
That sense of urgency, act now, do it now, do it now, do it now.
Everybody gets one chance to do something great. Most people never take the chance, either because they're too scared or they don't recognize it when it spits on their shoes. This is your big chance, and you shouldn't let it go by.
Whatever your gift is, what are you going to do with what you have?
It's called a life-changing day. The day you say, enough is enough.
And there are those of you in this room, you are great. You are phenomenal, and you're not walking in it because you don't know who you are and what you want.
What do you want in your life?
There's only one thing a friend of mine years ago taught me when I was coming up and I was deciding if I was going to do this, if I was going to pursue this life. And he's an Indian friend of mine. And he said, Ab nahi to kab. I think that means if not now, then when.
You got to go, man. You just have to go. Never wait on the right time, because the right time ain't ever coming.
After you fail, the likelihood that you're successful goes up, not down. This is the part that people miss. They fail and think it somehow decreases the likelihood of success, but it actually increases it.
Well, I think if you want the future to be good, you must make it so. Take action.
There's nothing out there for me.
And that's the problem. You hung up your cape and your cowl, but you didn't move on. You never went to find a life, to find someone.
Alfred, I did find someone.
I know, and you lost them, but that's all part of living, sir. But you're not living, you're just waiting.
I believe if you're the kind of person that has spent too much time thinking about where to go, then it's time to get in the car and start driving.
The secret ingredient is nothing.
Huh? You heard me. Nothing. There is no secret ingredient. To make something special, you just have to believe it's special.
There is no secret ingredient.
And now I'm here without nothing, away from everyone, and I really took the time to find out, who the enemy was. And it's not that it was the enemy, it was the enemy. The enemy. The enemy. The inner me.
Get all those people down there. Do they follow the rules for what? They're letting fear lead them.
What happens if I don't?
Life's simple. You make choices and you don't look back.
So after that fight when I lost, and I'm looking at all these people and they're all celebrating my demise and saying I'm done and this, and it certainly lit a fire under my belly. Every single person doubted me. Every single fighter doubted me. Doubt me now.
Everyone thinks you're crazy until it works.
When you have these ideas of greatness, you got to go forward, because it's not going to be a right time. Just go. Jump. Take a chance.
But sooner or later, it's something that's inside of you just has to want it.
You have to be able to pivot quickly. You have to be able to adjust fast. You have to constantly
be aware of the changes around you. You don't have time to kind of say, well, I'm going to give it 6 months and think about it. You give it 6 days and hit it. The fastest person doesn't win the race. It's the person who starts first.
That's how they get you to give up. They say it's not that simple, Vinny.
So what's the truth?
That it is.
It wasn't about the potential. It wasn't about the genetics. It was about the perseverance. And it wasn't about being the hardest f***ing worker in the room. That's what got them there. And it didn't happen overnight. They got knocked down more than they ever had stood up. But they kept going and kept going and kept going and kept going, because what else is the alternative? To be average again. That sucks, man. And I'll never accept mediocre again. I'm always gonna give it my 110%. That's the only thing I can ever say a solid day's work.
Now you're gonna have thoughts come to your mind of why you can't get it. You have the ability in your conscious mind to reject that idea, kick it out of your mind. Thinking of why you can't do something is never going to do you any good. And keep thinking until you start to think of thoughts of how you can do it. And the way will be shown to you. It comes in the form of images in our mind. Think of how you can and not why you can't.
Absolutely, you do whatever it takes, okay? Even if it risks your life. That's your dream. I made the decision that, look, this is what I want to do. Somebody's give me an opportunity, I'm gonna take advantage of it. I have 24 hours in the day. I try to take advantage of every hour.
Yeah, most days I just want to wake up and make the most of the time I have. I realize it's finite and that I think I'm here for some purpose. Then mostly I'm just like constantly worried that I'm not fulfilling that promise. So yeah, so it's not like a bad kind of like, right? It's not like I wake up and say I don't accept myself. It's more like, I was like, wow, if I'm not pushing myself to do more and to have more impact, then I'm not really taking full advantage of why I'm here.
I know from a personal level what that feels like, to be in pain or to feel like you're not worthy or that you're never going to be anything. So it all comes down to this moment. This moment is the only time we can transform, and I say joy now or never.
What if it's a mistake? It's a mistake. Rest assured. What do you know? You're going to stumble around, right? And what's going to happen is this. You're going to move to, you're going to not stay in stasis. You're not going to wander around in circles. And I see people like that. They said, well, I never knew what to do, and now I'm 40. It's like, that's not so good. That's not so good. And you might say, well, and there is a literature too that suggests that people are a lot more unhappy when they look back on their lives about the things they didn't do than they are about the mistakes they made while they were doing things.
I look at it like, okay, why not me? I've already overcome this. Why can't I go and start a company? Why can't I build something that's meaningful? Why can't I create this new paradigm shift in the way we look at the world? Because if I looked at it the other way and started to take, the count of, okay, well, I can't do this because of where I come from. I can't do this because of how I look. I can't do this. I wouldn't start anything. Everybody will wake up each day doing subtraction. I look at my life as addition.
If you're gonna do it, do it. Say what you can do what you say. You can't do it, don't say you can do it. Don't over leverage yourself. Don't over leverage a decision and then jump in and kind of dip a toe. I think I'll try it out. No, think if you're gonna try it out beforehand, but when it's time to go, dive. Finish it, find out. Come out the other side. Don't leave it and go, ooh, if I just would, That keeps me up at night. I think it keeps a lot of us up at night. When you half-ass something and you just don't know whether you failed or succeeded, got what you want or didn't get what you want. Finding out and looking in the mirror and going, I didn't half-ass it. I went all the way. I found out.
It's this moment where I look back and then I was like, wait, as humans, I've realized like we all have these reservoirs of this untapped potential inside of us and can achieve these extraordinary things when we're focused, when we shine positivity and light, when we lean into those that we love and uplift and co-create together.
The worst thing you could ever do is if you're pursuing the wrong dream or if your dream changes and you don't change with it.
I'm now sitting, feeling, bitterness, feeling like a victim, feeling like, this isn't right, and making every excuse, blaming people, like this isn't cool. And I sat down and I said, you know what? It's time to rewrite this story.
It's simple. It's now or never time.
We all get wake-up calls. We get wake-up calls in our relationships, our spiritual walk, our leadership styles. We get wake-up calls in our finances. And some people, the phone's ringing off the hook right now. They're getting wake-up calls on a bunch of things. They're at home with their family, and they're starting to realize, I was disconnected from my family. I haven't been plugged into they got a wake-up call on their relationships at home. They've gotten a wake-up call on, I don't have any savings, and I'm deeply in debt. This isn't working. And so, the cool thing is, when you get the call, then you have to make the choice. Are you going to answer the phone? And if you pick the phone up, that means maybe it's time to change. Are you going to answer the phone? Are you going to change your life where you say, never again?
I'm going to see what happens when I decide that I am qualified. What happens when I decide for myself that I'm going to do something different?
If you ask people what they regret, especially as they get older, what they generally report is things not done. So they don't regret so much mistakes they've made, although of course people obviously regret mistakes they've made as well. They torment themselves for opportunities that had presented themselves that they did not, let's say, exploit or engage in.
If you're about to make a change in your life and you feel uncomfortable, that's the best feeling you can have. Because for the first time in your life, you're making a decision that's going to be best for you.
Real reality is, no matter how much emotion and feeling you may have or how much hurt you may have, life has to go on. Life doesn't stop for anybody. So if you don't process that and understand that, you're stuck in whatever time period you got hurt forever. Forever.
Remember this. So you got to get out there. You got to give it everything you got, whether it's your time, your talent, your prayers, or your treasures. Because remember this. You will never see a U-Haul behind a hearse.
Do people have a feeling that they can change, but they have no effort? They don't want to get in the game because they feel it's just too much time and it doesn't work, and I tried it and it didn't work, and then they give up, and then life just goes on. It's seamless. You don't see it. It's just the way you've been living it.
You've got the gift of life. You have the privilege of being here. Do what you want. Have a dream. Go after that dream. Quit playing small. You were meant to do great things.
A lot of your thoughts are not yours. It's like an auxiliary cord, and people plug in to your stuff. You pick up things and you're like, why do I not thinking that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that's not you. But if you think every thought is yours, and your thoughts determine your feelings, and your emotions determine your actions.
Is that if you stand still, you fall backwards. You cannot stand still because the world moves away from you if you stand still. And there's no stasis, there's only backwards. And so if you're not moving forwards, then you're moving backwards.
Here's what I want you to repeat after me, please, with power and conviction. Say, it's possible. That's all I want you to do when you look at your dream. Just say to yourself every day, it's possible. Just say that every day to yourself, it's possible. Because what does that do? See, it begins to change your belief system. See, the way in which we operate, ladies and gentlemen, it's a manifestation of what we believe, what's possible for us. Whatever you've done up to this point, all that it really is a duplication, it's a reproduction of what you believe subconsciously that you deserve and what's possible for your life.
I feel like we sort of focus on the right ways and wrong ways too much, and I think it's in a sense sort of scary to just be born and live life, and I understand the idea of kind of grasping onto a particular thought of wanting to kind of feel like you somehow have a handle on the unknown, but you know what, the unknown is the unknown.
It's not the critic who counts.
Not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again, because there is no effort without error and shortcoming, but who does always actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who neither know victory nor defeat.
This 30 seconds is your life passing you by, an opportunity to change. It's your prerogative. You want to go down the path you have right now of your life and where it's going. Or do you see an alternate path that's not flatline, but climbing up an echelon of remembrance, a possibility where dreams exist, legacy exists, the possibility of change. So within the grasp of these hands, within the grasp of 30 seconds, it's within you. You had the will. You're here. I know you had the will. You had the intestinal fortitude. You had the will to change.
Think about something, an area you're held back. This is what you believe is possible, is your mindset. It is what you believe you are capable of. It is what you believe you deserve.
And tell yourself that you deserve to be happy and you deserve to be fulfilled. You will start to see reasons for it.
Why not? Why can't I be the MVP of the league? Why can't I be the best player in the league? I don't see why. Why can't I do that?
I can't change the beginning, but could I change the middle? Can I edit that story, rewrite that story, and change my entire life?
Ask the question when you're thinking big, why not you? And answer it. I'm not just doing this motivational video, why not you? Why shouldn't you win? No, forget motivational, let's get logical. Why not you? Actually answer that. Why can't you be somebody that can do something in your business that's never been done before? Why not you? Answer it.
Anybody is capable of achieving anything. I actually believe that because I think human beings are designed to change. You're capable of breaking any pattern. You're capable of getting control of your health. You're capable of launching a business. You're capable of making millions of dollars. You're capable of healing your trauma, of finding love, of doing absolutely anything that you put your mind to, as long as you are willing to do the work for it and as long as you give up your timeline. Because I do believe that people who put in the work get rewarded. But you just might not get rewarded when you think you're going to be. And it might not be the reward that you thought you were going to get.
Yeah, I woke up this morning, man, after about 2 hours sleep. Working all night long. Tired, man. On Saturday, a lot of my friends at the beach and shit. I'm in here. Do I want to be here? Not really, man. You know, all at the beach, having a good time. Would I rather be at the beach? Sure. But what is even better than being at the beach is driving home to your beach fucking house. I'm putting in the time now, so that when I want to go to the beach, I just open my front door.
I have a question for you. Are your dreams big enough? Why don't you dare to dream bigger?
Life is difficult. It's like, well, what if you were 90% in, or 95% in, or all in? Because you're all in anyways, right? It's a life and death game. No one gets out of this. Everyone dies. You might as well commit yourself.
If you're alive, you can get better. If you're alive right now, you can improve your condition. You can improve your situation, and it starts with improving the way you think. That's the most important thing. The way you think of things, the way you think of things, the way you address things, you've got to change that. And you got to look at things objectively, and you got to be brutally honest with yourself. And the more you bullshit yourself, the more it's going to be difficult. You're literally throwing weights on your back and making it harder to move forward.
What I'm suggesting that you operate out of a larger vision of yourself. I want you to see yourself doing what you want to do, experiencing what you want to experience, having what you want to have, doing what it is that gives your life some meaning and value. Operate out of your imagination, not your memory. Because whenever you look at where you want to go, I'm going to warn you, you will have some conversation back here after you go through the data that you've experienced in life saying you can't do it. And so what you want to begin to do is ignore that inner conversation.
I've been wrong more times than I've been right. I have failed more times than I've succeeded. 99% right and 100% wrong. So like they're right 99% of the time, but they're wrong 100% because the only thing that matters is the big one at the end. Because if you're going to do anything big, you have to believe that it can happen.
How do you overcome fear of failure or fear of success or fear of fear itself? You step. And how do you face the fear of the unknown? You step. Don't wait anymore. Don't think anymore. Don't plan anymore. Don't contemplate anymore. Don't make any more excuses or justifications. Don't rationalize anything else. No, no, and no. Instead, be aggressive. Take action now. And what is the first action that you need to take? What's the first step you need to take? The first step you need to take is just that. Step.
Take that first step. Do whatever it is that you thought you couldn't do, and don't be afraid, because that is the most important moment in your life. And then you realize it's not so bad. Okay, people are making fun of me, I failed, but they never tried anything. I at least tried it, and I have an idea for my next one. It wasn't so bad, you know? But if you never make that first step, I don't care, the wisdom of Solomon won't be able to help you, right? You'll always be stopping before you can. So you've got to have the guts to make that first step, and then the doors will open for you.
You can do anything. But I think we're conditioned. We have a real strong conditioning, usually with not some very good ideas. And then that's the barrier that's inside us. The one that's outside of us is our environment. We have a tendency to act like everybody around us. And if you think about this, it does make a lot of sense. Because if you study statistics, 95% of the people live their entire life and never live the way they want to live.
Change happens when the pain of staying the same becomes greater than the pain of making a change.
Like, if you are angry, use it. If you are sad, use it. Because, like, what else are you going to do with it? Like, you might as well let it help you.
I gotta have fear, because without fear, there is no room for courage. Because if I'm not scared of losing anything, where does courage exist?
The question is, what are you going to do with what you have? I'm not talking about how much you have. Some of you are business majors, some of you are theologians, nurses, sociologists, some of you have money, some of you have patience, some of you have kindness, some of you have love, some of you have the gift of long suffering, whatever it is, whatever your gift is. What are you going to do with what you have?
Imagine you talk to the creator of the universe before birth and pick the person you get to become. You say, I want to be the most courageous. The creator replies and says, well, then I will give you monsters to terrify you so that you can conquer them. Then you say, well, I want to be patient. Well, then I will make you work harder and longer so you can learn to wait. I want to be wise. And the creator replies, then I will give you failures that will crush your spirit so you can learn the value of judgment. You then say, sounds like a rough life. Can you give me a good life? Creator replies, just like we measure the quality of a blacksmith by the strength of his steel, I measure you by what you are at the end, not the fire and the hammer it took to make you. A good life isn't a life that's easy. A good life is a life that makes you into a good person. And that, my son, is a hard life.
And I think one of the most powerful things that you can cultivate when you cultivate partnership with yourself is being able every single day to have a level of trust in your life, in the magic of things, in yourself, to know that this moment right now is also a dot on the map of your life. And 5, 10, 20 years from now, you will look back on this moment and you will know exactly why this happened. And why it happened is it was preparing you for something. It was giving you a skill or an experience or some wisdom or a relationship that you're going to need for something extraordinary that's coming. And when you believe that, it gives you the strength to face absolutely anything.
If you're going to do it, do it. If you have the chance, do it. Don't pause. Instinct, man. If you got an instinct, go at it. Throw deep.
My biggest fear in life is if there is a final judgment and you talk to something much bigger than you. I don't want to sit down and have a conversation with something that says, you're in heaven, this is what you should have been on earth. Thinking about how much I left on the table for fear, for not willing to go over the wall and over the next wall and over the next wall. So in my mind, I believe that.
Behave confidently, as Dorothea Brand wrote in 1935 in her wonderful book, Wake Up and Live. She said, the key to success is this. She said, go confidently in the direction of your dreams. Act as though it were impossible to fail. And this brings us to the most important part, if I can just summarize in 1 minute. It is this, is that your true beliefs are only and always expressed in your actions. It is not what you say or what you intend that tells what you believe, but only what you do.
I'm certain that most capable people don't believe in themselves enough. A lack of confidence killed more dreams than a lack of competence ever did.
The scars make the man. Every day I wake up, I say to myself, my goal is to be the #1 in the world. You have two options right now. Keep dreaming with your dreams or wake up and make it reality. And I choose the second option, always.
How much longer are you going to avoid what you are capable of doing in order to continue with what you are comfortable doing? And I just let that sit. And then let them reflect on that question. Because it could be the very thing they need to realize it's them stopping them.
Even if you're tired, you can still go to the gym. Even if you're annoyed with your spouse, you can still speak in a manner that's loving. Even if you don't feel like doing that hard work, you can still push yourself to do it. Your feelings aren't a choice. Your behavior and your thoughts are always a choice.
I actually think the greatest consequence in life is not keeping commitments to yourself. And I think that compounds to, as we talked about, where does beliefs come from? I think it compounds as personal evidence, which is deposited in this instruction manual of who you are and how you behave and how you show up and what you're capable of. All those tiny little commitments. And then I think you can get into a downward commitment spiral because of that.
You don't have faith in your own word.
You don't have faith in anything you do. Yeah. And this causes a downward spiral. So isn't it really lovely to know that maybe the way to turn that into a positive, upward reinforcing spiral is just keep that tiny commitment you made to yourself today.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to move Mount Everest. You don't need to go on a 7-day ayahuasca retreat. How about when you said you were going to get in bed at 10 p.m., you do that?
Yep.
And you stack those things for a week. The next thing you do in the next hour, can you keep that commitment to yourself?
It's always darkest before the dawn. You have to push through the hard to get to the place you're trying to get to. And when you feel the highest pressure, the highest stress, and the highest anxiety, when you're in the pursuit of something greater, it's a good indication that you're actually on the right path.
You know, people get up every day, they do the same thing. They tell themselves they're going to change their life one day, and they never do. I'm going to change mine.
When you think about changing your life, the experience can be overwhelming. Because what comes to mind is this idea that we have to make drastic changes to our current situation in order to get anywhere close to where we want to be. The truth is, all it takes are small changes. Small habits applied on a consistent basis help us to achieve big results in life. There is no such thing as an overnight success, only over time success.
You only live once, so do what you feel passionate about. Take chances.
An ode to people who don't believe in themselves. What comes first, belief or action? Do you need to believe that you can do a thing before you can do it? Fake it until you make it is one option, but incredibly hard if you're introspective and have low self-belief and high standards. So what about make it until you believe it? Here are some lessons that I've learned. You can believe you're not worthy of a thing and still attain it. You can be adamant that your efforts are going to go badly and still succeed. You can grip and grasp and fear and it ruin the enjoyment and be totally unwarranted and things still go well. You can have no self-belief and show up anyway. You can want more for yourself without knowing exactly what that looks like. You can doubt the process, question your talent, be uncertain that you're making progress, disparage your accomplishments, permanently feel like you're not working hard enough no matter how hard you work, never give yourself a break, fail to fully feel gratitude, be terrified of never reaching your goals, and still end up in a place that your 20-year-old self could not imagine you'd ever get to. Self-belief is overrated. Generate evidence.
Those feelings of failure are so hard. They're so hard to get over, and they overwhelm people, and some people can't get past them. And then every time some new thing comes up, when you have to rise to the occasion, you have to perform, you think about that time you failed, and it f***s your head up, man. You think, I'm a loser, I can't do this, I'm gonna fail, I'm gonna f*** up, you know. Like, how many times have you had a bad set, and you're like, I can't do this, that's just it, I just suck. And then you define yourself that way, and you gotta get over it.
That's the game, right? Like, either you're right or you're wrong. Either you win or you lose. But if you're gonna come to me and tell me you don't have time, in a world where I work every second for 18 hours a day, right? You're gonna have a tough time making me feel bad that it's not happening for you, because that's part of it.